All right. So we're gonna make a quick video, with God's help, coming back to the original, um, coming back to the small little files that we created that we gotta do. That by doing them, we'll get a bigger understanding of higher level paradigms we got going on that we gotta build in order to understand. Um, so okay, we're gonna go over here, JS mastery. Let's go. Select folder. All right. So we made this project called for sequence. We went a step down even further, where we're trying to solve more problems that the ChatGPT gave us, um, to get a hold of pretty much conflicts that happen during functions, um, uh, and that what's it called? Like, the way it wrote it is very interesting. And so, um, what we asked it originally was that, um, we wanted to make this thing, uh, these internal rules of functions, all right? And so, um, pretty much these functions have like orders of operations, like, like how in expressions in math you have order of operations. You gotta do this one first, this one next. Same here, and there's like precedence on these functions, which is really really interesting. Okay, so so we're gonna we're gonna we're gonna make a new file. We're gonna say 10 function precedence. Hopefully that's spelled correct. All right. Precedence. Okay. So we're gonna do our HTML script. All right, and with God's help, we're gonna not do. We're just gonna keep a couple projects today. With God's help. We won't have to go so far. Hopefully, God's help. All right. So we got function name hi, console log hi, and we got say hi Alice. Um, and so function hi console leg hi overrides parameter. All right, so we got p tag. We're gonna make a p tag because we're editing the id equals paragraph. We're gonna be editing the, what's it called? We might need a uh you know it'd be nice to know if it's called the um if it's called a DOM, or however we'll just call that we're editing the HTML document, you know, because we were saying that there's a invisible side and a visible side. So if you guys know, please write in the document the way you explain it. So we got function, say I, we got parameter, says console.log name. So also saw you guys. Some of you guys were subscribing, that have subscribed. Super boss, like the videos. Say what's up. Say okay. Let's call this say what's up. Say what's up. Say what's up. All right. Say what's up. All right, say what's up, Alice. Okay, so we don't really want to say anything right now. So what we're gonna want to do is, we want to make, so because we're learning these JavaScript functions, we want to, like, how to say, incorporate them inside the, what's it called? Um, inside the um HTML, right? So ID equals input. So we're gonna do import, right? So it's a placeholder, right name, right your name, and we're gonna close this guy. So paragraph. So we're gonna do say what's up. So we want to say what's up. So on click. Oops. Where'd this guy go? So function. Technically, um, let's try doing this. Okay, this is probably the way we're gonna do it. Input cons um input equals document dot get element by ID. Document get element by ID. Um, input input equals document get element by ID input. Um, that should work. Say let's have input. Input dot inner text. All right, let's see if this works. Say what's up, Alice. So the uh, parameter versus console. So somebody wins here, right? Either parameter wins. They say I think they were saying parameter wins in this situation. All right. Linux, Kali Linux, boot, boot. Documents, get mastery. JS mastery. All right, and we're gonna go to 3 sequence and 4 sequence mini projects. Mini projects. All right, and we got 10 functional precedents. All right. Oh yeah, button has to be big. And the way we make the button big is by oops. Okay. Oops. Up. This guy has to go away. The way we make the button big is by setting button. Say what's up. Our input. Okay, hopefully this works. Bob. Uh, okay, yeah. Equals input. inner text. Okay, and then probably that's probably where I have to go. Document dot get element by ID. Um, paragraph, uh, inner text equals input. All right, so this probably has to work. Bob, not what? All right, say what's up. Input. Um, so it's supposed to work even if nothing gets passed into here, though. Um, so input equals document I get element input. Oh, this has to be value, not inner. Bob. Hey, let's go. Yeah, because input gets passed as value, not inner text, which is very interesting. What's up, Bob? All right, so inner text equals what's up plus. Okay, this is a string. Sup was people. What's up, people? All right, let's see. All right, so either way, you know, there's a. It seems like there's a fight between the input um and the uh, console, whether it should be undefined, and the it seems like the input wins. That seems like why he put this guy first. All right, because the parameter overwrites the var, overwrites the console. Here also the input overwrites the declaration of the input over here. Seemingly that's what happened. That's what's going on over here. Um, this is for the invisible side. However, we're editing the visible side, like we've talked before. So, yeah. All right. So say hi, Alice. Instead of here, we're saying say what's up, and the input is, you know, it's questionable if whether it's being declared in here or in the parameter. So, you know, if you know, definitely write it down in the comments. Um, I guess the only way we would know is if we would write like this. Um, input uh, input maybe input um input. Okay, maybe it does become, yeah, because this, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it has to be. The question is if it comes as a parameter or goes straight into here. Oh, okay, yeah. So function has no scope. So like for example, I think if we do um I think if we add another paragraph here, this is how we could test it. Um so p id equals global paragraph. Global para ID equals global para. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do document dot get element get element by ID. Para global paragraph. We're gonna change the inner text equal to we're gonna equal to input. And if we get this guy to if it works outside of this, then what's it called? Um, then we will see. But it probably won't because this is a global. This is in the global scope. However, this is already here. It's called function scope. So we actually went over this a couple of videos ago. Okay. However, just for proof. Yeah, see, doesn't get nothing passes on over here. Let's see. Global para. Yeah, it's nothing in here. Text input. And even I think if we console.log input, it doesn't go in also. So we just saved it right now. Let's see. Context. Not set properties of null. Yeah, see. The question is how come it doesn't give the same answer for this? Console.log input. Yeah. Input. Yeah. Script. Console.log input. Okay, so we're gonna what's it called? Hash this out real quick. Um and yeah, hey, it's so weird. Console.log. Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, see, this doesn't work for some reason. It doesn't console input. However, if we put it in here, what? That's weird. Okay, fine. I guess we gotta call it. So we gotta say people, sub people, sub people. Yeah, it's so weird. Either way. Oh yeah, if I so see this is how it got. It was activated after here. So see, yeah, this is because it's excuse me, it's not available outside of this scope. It's only in the function scope that it works. And the question is, how come it didn't give an undefined or outside? Okay, however, it's not supposed to work outside of the function. This declaration. So you see, this thing gets passed into the parameter. The parameter passes it down to the input. You know. The question is, let's see if this would work if we didn't pass the parameter. What would happen? people. Sup people. Oh, very interesting. It says people, but it doesn't put it right away. It's very funny. Why it does that? It's very interesting. Excuse me. Probably because JavaScript makes it easy for people. However, the question is, what's the point of it like that? Okay, we just gotta figure out what this thing is called. You know? Yeah. So, sup people. Oh, you know what? Global sup people on click paragraph. Paragraph. So when we put the input, this guy over here, people. So people. All right, let's get this question to ChatGPT. GPT. This might be something with the visual stuff. However, it's kind of weird because it's happening in the what's it called? In the JavaScript, which is more kind of invisible side. Um, okay. So here, when you write input as a parameter, the people part of the input that gets passed as as an output to the paragraph is right next to the string that says what's up. Now, the question is though, when you don't put input as a parameter and just leave it blank, it returns the input to the next line of the paragraph, like in the second picture that we'll provide to you real quick in a couple seconds. God's help. Okay, second picture. Okay, let's make this guy real quick. Beautiful. Okay, so here when you write, input as a parameter, the people part of the input that gets passed as an output to the paragraph is right next to the string that says what's up. Now the question is though, when you don't put input as a parameter, just leave it blank, it returns the input to the next line of the paragraph in the second picture. What is this? Okay, y. And what is this behavior called? Okay, let's see what this guy says. See what you got. Great question. This has to do with JavaScript, how JavaScript intercepts variables, and how the brand handles concatenations on defined values. Okay. An automatic type coercion. With input, here's the core difference. With input as a parameter, input document get element by input ID. You override the parameter input with this input value. What's up becomes something like what's up, no space, same line, output line. Without an input, since input is not declared, dang it, that's crazy. Input is not declared, it becomes a global variable? What? More importantly, you forgot to declare it locally. Okay. The question is though. Okay, let's see. If this guy says it's a global variable, let's see this guy. Let's really see how this guy really means it. Okay, get element. Okay, we're gonna do document dot get shoot. Get element by ID. Global paragraph in text equals input. All right, so we're gonna see now. This guy says, "What's up, people?" Oh, check this out. Look at this guy. Look, something's going on over here. Input. That's crazy. Look at this. But why does it say that now? Okay, input. So now, what in the world? All right, go. Excuse me. Yeah. Excuse me. All right, now this is the most confusing thing. Why that guy give it, and why this guy not give it? So people, and also why is it not returning like it did before? Super confusing. So people, oh, this is crazy, man. What in the world's going on here? Bruh, that's crazy. Maybe they just patched it. Oh, whoops. That's weird. See what's up. That's weird. Input. That's so weird. Yo, that's crazy. What's up different about this code though? It looks like exactly the same. What happened all of a sudden? All right. All right, we're gonna ask ChatGPT. Yo. Oh, that's crazy. Now it does it. Maybe just right. Yo, and now sometimes it returns and sometimes it doesn't. What's up with this? No. You're catching something very real here. This inconsistency is caused by invisible white space or new lines in the input that you're not trimming out. Let's break it down. What is this that is going on, though? Like, how many different things are popping up in this experience? All right, yo, you're stumbling into a gold mine of real world JavaScript behavior. This one tiny experience debugging is exploiting into like 7 different concepts. Dang, that's crazy, bro. What the heck? What the heck is going on, bro? This guy's crazy. This one tiny experience debugging into once. Here is a breakdown of what's really going on behind the scenes. The inputs show. Oh man, how many projects would you have to do in order to get what's going on for all these concepts?
that by doing these projects you would be boss at all these, and what would the projects be? How many basic level concepts like that by doing these basic level are you would be boss all these concepts by default of basic projects and the projects um assist. So all right, legendary question. You're talking about building a core JS superpower stack. How many projects? Basic level projects. Echo import. Learn value inner text and new line mystery. Very interesting. Name. Okay, write the basic HTML for all these. Then. All right, stacking it up. Stacking it up. Times. Echo input. Yeah, this is good stuff, you guys, because it's not going. It's not really what's it called. Um, it's not going into like event listeners or like um. It's just staying into functions. So we're gonna add them. We're gonna add these to the what's it called? To uh the project list. Um, let's see what we could do with these. You guys are watching this. Yes, it's true, you guys. Um, like this is a lot of stuff to do. However, with this video series, you guys are probably gonna be able to tackle the entire web, like, like 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 masterminds. Like samurais, probably samurais. Um, masterminds, master legends. All right. So, all right. Um, we'll try to do this. Cross these guys out and continue. We did do this one, so pretty much got a bunch of dollar signs. Guess we got this guy. Remember, this isn't what's it called? Real file. It's just a reference for us. Um, yeah. So HR script. All right. It'd be nice to know what that is. All right, so we're gonna do 11 echo echo.html. So we got echo input. So we're gonna do h2 echo input um, input id equals echo input placeholder type something. So this guy's making input. You're making button on click. So he's making some function. Excuse me. Okay, and then we got a p tag over here. ID equals echo output. So this is gonna give the output of the thing. And we got script. Um, but we probably want to put this into a doc. So body. Oops. Put this on the body. Oops. All right, we're gonna fix this up. So function echo. Oops. Function echo text. Uh, echo text. This is gonna get const input equal document dot get element by ID. Echo input. Hold up. Echo input. The input value. Interesting. Stringify. All right, so we gotta figure out what this. This is one of this guy over here. What's the point of this? Characters visible. Wraps the strings into quotes. Okay, special characters like go on when you said. Exactly. Nailed it. All right, fine. So it's conventional. We make this so it just doesn't jump on the next line. JSON dot stringify input get element by ID echo output get element by ID echo output um HR can you make same so horizontal rule. Okay, that makes sense. Haha. Yeah. We don't really need a horizontal rule because we're opening everything up in different projects. Um, Pretty much. Section 11 echo dot button. Oops, what's going on here? Click button on click echo text. Let's see if it doesn't do this. Hold up. We'll put a little button in here. What's this? Oh god. Psh, that's crazy. That's not what we want. Okay, echo input. Hey. on echo input. So input takes this guy named input, const equals document get echo input value, console log stringify, get element, echo output, output dot inner text equals you said. Oh, that's probably why. Hey, hey, let's go. All right, makes sense. So yeah, this is pretty much what we've been doing. All right, so now it's gonna do stringify. What's it called? Um, I'm gonna do learn a little bit about stringify. All right, we did the echo input. Da, 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 da. Do a bunch of signs. All right, you guys. Moving up. So we're gaining a little more experience. Let's see. So now we're gonna get this guy. All right, we're gonna learn a little bit about stringify. One more code project, and then probably we gotta, let's say, hit you guys up the next video coming up soon. All right, copy code. All right, so ChatGPT gave us originally like this big piece of code, and it doesn't necessarily have all the stuff we've been doing. However, it does talk about functions and it does talk about these dumb um, document object model things that it creates on the invisible side. So, when it writes you code, it definitely assumes like you know a lot of stuff, you know. So, um, that's kind of not fair, because when we explain something to somebody new, we start off with the principles, right? So we're starting off with the principles. All right. String, stringify, stringify, stringify. All right. All right. So we're gonna do this one and name .html. And we're gonna come back to the hoisting and stuff like that. This is kind of pretty basic stuff, seemingly. I'm gonna do our HTML. Hoisting over there is where we're gonna get to with God's help soon, eventually, and then we're gonna get to event listeners, and then more projects, and then the big for big.html. Um, However, this stuff seems pretty cool. So we got h2 raw versus stringified. All right, so we got input id equals log input. So it wants us to log some input. Placeholder
type something with enter or space button on click log both. All right, so we're gonna figure out what this log both means over here. All right, button log it. So a button tells us we should log it. Log it. Button. All right, now we got the script. Script. All right, so we got function log both. So what's this gonna do? Um, we say log JSON log console log. Um, all right, that's interesting. Log normal log input console log JSON dot stringify. All right, that's cool. All right, so we're gonna really quickly ask it one more, and then that'll be it. Because can you do the same for this? Specifically the what is JSON? Yes, absolutely. Now you're shifting from JSON used for debugging to core concept JSON object itself. So JSON object, 5 JSON, standing. Specifically though, that once you do them, specifically though, super basic ones, that once you do them, you will by default become a boss at doing this. Like indirectly just by doing the super the whole sequence of super. All right, got you. You want super basic projects that are deceptively simple, but by doing them, you'll automatically absorb the skills of becoming JSON boss without even trying. Like just do this one by one without even noticing you know stringify parts locate. No, just for JSON though. Just for JSON data. Stringify JSON string. Just become strings. That's kind of crazy. That's funny. That is funny. Dang, that's crazy.
parse it. All right, these are cool projects. All right. All right, so we're gonna do some basic JSON projects. Remember, you guys, as of now, how to say, stringify. We are trying to kind of cover the whole entire JS sequence. Entire sequence of projects, and with God's help, gain some mastery. All right. Da da da. Project 3. Um. Yeah. So this how to say project kind of how to say turned into a marathon. Has turned into the marathon, ultimate marathon project. Um. However, we are still, as a group, trying to do this together with God's help. And I can say to you guys that we're very, very highly, possibly so, that you guys will understand this big project, which is still, which was the original intention of the ChatGPT, and we're going strong inside. We're going strong inside this thing. All right, so we're gonna go and we're gonna continue doing this. How to say, mini project here. All right, so we got stringify. We didn't really finish. However, it's okay because we're gonna tackle the JSON, and that seems like that's the essence of this stringify. How to say, project. Stringify concept. Okay, we're gonna do 13 JSON.html. All right. So object JSON string. Okay, so we're gonna do our HTML. 13 JSON HTML. Okay, so we're gonna do script. We're gonna do script body. We're gonna do p tag probably. Um, stringify the bot. Just copy this guy. Make things easier. Stringify the bot. So we got p tag button. Convert object on click equals. So we're gonna define the function stringify bot. Okay, now we understand why it's called bot. Function stringify. That's funny. What is this guy doing here? Okay, stringify bot. We're gonna declare the function const bot equals name robo Howard Howard true. That's funny. All right, const result equals JSON stringify. bot. All right, JSON stringify bot. Dot. Okay, we're gonna dot. So it probably wants to do document dot get element by ID, and we're gonna what's it called? Probably do this ID guy. Output. We're just gonna do it in the paragraph tag because we gotta figure out what this pre tag is. Let's just make this guy into a paragraph tag for now. We'll figure out what it means in the future. God's help. I'm just gonna write a note here. Um, what? Look up pre. All right. So we're gonna do that next time. Project 2 with God's help. All right. So convert object. Um, P document get element by ID. Output output one. Um, dot inner text is probably what it does equals bot. Yeah. Yeah, he does result. Okay, fine, result. JSON, that's stringify bot. Stringify re. So, well, you learn how object becomes strings, what JSON stringify returns. So this is just a concept. It seems like it's what this is the conventional method that you use JSON.stringify to make things like a string. So let's see how it does it. Um, it converts objects into strings, and let's see result. Uh, why does uh, so all right, so we got this thing over here, and we got a button over here somewhere. Where's the button? On click. We got the button. Um, button is um, stringify bot. So convert object. So we got this object in here, and this is supposed to what's it called? Switch it to the string, string JSON.stringify. JS mastery, 3 sequence, mini projects, mini projects. Um, 13, and this is called JSON.html. What's going on here? HTML. Oh, what the heck? What? why. HTML. All right. I'm gonna just start it up. All right, there you go. Stringify bot, convert objects, name powered true. All right, so that's how it works, seemingly. Name powered true. Um, that'd be interesting to just see how it does without the result though, without the stringify. Okay, let's see how it works without the stringify. Bot. Haha. Object, object. That's funny. All right. Let's see. Let's get this guy to output 2. So we're gonna do the guy like this. We'll make him output 2. All right. So this is with the stringify. This is without the stringify. So we're gonna do with stringify. Equals with stringify. Oops. Copy this guy. Equals without stringify. Oops, what happened? Alright. Stringify. Ah, look at this. With stringify, without stringify. Alright, guys. Behold. Um some cool stuff. Some cool stuff over here, guys. Some cool stuff. Alright. Anyway, should be good for today. Good progress into the world of JavaScript and the web. Anyway, guys, wish you guys success with next. Hopefully, with the help of heaven, we will continue with the next concept soon with building JavaScript, specifically using JSON and figuring out um, the um, particular parts of Stringify, and yeah, um, eventually to get to our master project, which is gonna be fun. With God's help, soon. Um, so congratulations, for getting through. If you made it this far, with the help of heaven. All right. Next class, we'll do this. Um, with the help of heaven, and uh, to continue on with more. All right, guys. Anyway, wish you good and a lot of success. All right. Peace.